Hello, hello, here we are. I am live on YouTube. Hello, Stacy, early bird. Stacy's right here with me. How are you feeling today? It's 11:59 and we are on the little bit of the Love Self channel. How are you feeling? It is beautiful and amazing. The sun is shining after a rainy night. Apparently, there was a huge thunderstorm last night, crack at a crack and rock, and I slept right through it. That is so funny. I can't be. My girlfriend is telling me about 20 minutes ago, did you hear the thunderstorm? No, I was asleep. I missed it all. But anyway, it is that time of the morning on Thursday. Hi, Stacy's an early bird. You're here early. Um, I am answering questions. And hello, it's 12 o'clock. Let's get the show on the road. Here you are. I got a question. I'm reading it from my iPad, but I put what it said. I even took a shower. You always shower. I know that. I love you for that. Hello, everyone on YouTube. I'm answering these questions that were sent to me. And I am hoping I have the right answers. Not hoping, I'm going to have an answer. Whether it's the answer she wanted or somebody else appreciates, I don't know. But I'm answering it according to my truthfulness. And I always make sure I'm honest about things like that. Question, long question. Tessa-Marie, you talk about money and energy. What is it you see when you look at the faces of the rich and the famous? Oh my goodness, what do I see? And then she went further. I mean, in the action, the body language, your face is what and who has a good relationship with money. And those who, when they have money, they're sad and look angry. They look for younger women or men. Wow, we're really on the Love Channel today, aren't we? So let's do this. Now, energy and money. I need to have some cinnamon tea for this one. So, energy. This is the real love channel, you think? Love yourself channel. Anyway, the thing about that, energy and money, I see it all the time. I really love it. I know I seem to get the vibe of body language. But what I do is because I lean in. Like I do that when you're speaking with me in person. When you're doing something, I go in. I have that calmness that I pushed out of me to breathe in that moment with that person. And I connect with what they're saying. And hi, Yuko, good morning, good afternoon. How are you feeling today? And so there I am. I am pushing through, and you're talking. And if you know me, you will notice my mouth is slightly open when I'm listening to you. It's like I'm drinking you up. And I didn't know that until somebody told me. When you're listening, your mouth is open wide. But I want more of you. My husband used to be amazed. He would grab me by the head and kiss me one night when he would be talking. In the middle of talking, I'd go, I'm I couldn't help it. I want to hear what you're saying. I want to feel you. I want to feel your words. I want to get your energy. And he would just grab my face and he said, because you look so like you're into me. I am into you when you're speaking. I do talk a lot, but you will notice I will allow you to speak. I just, it's automatic for me. So I will let you have your say. That doesn't mean I'm not listening to you. I won't interrupt you, but I will know what you're saying. And that's how I am. He used to be amazing and say, oh, don't do that. I said, you would like me to walk away when you're talking to me? No. So I'll be like, okay. And he would just go. Anyway, that's for another topic. So the question, Tessa-Marie, when you talk about money and energy, what is this you see when you look at the faces of the rich and famous? What I see about the faces of the rich and famous is different for each rich and famous person. You know that, right? So the question went further in the action, the body language, the faces, and what and who has a good relationship with money, and those who, when they have money, they're sad and they look angry. They look for younger women or men. I get that, right? So there's certain people that you see in an interview, and just the way, and they're answering the question, and they have millions of dollars, and they have a big huge brain. Like, who intrigues me when he's being interviewed is Warren Buffett. This man, it's not that he's dressed untidily or he looks unkempt. It's nothing like that. When that man is being interviewed, I don't know how tall he is, I don't know what if he's hunchback, I know he's older, but he always looks like he's completely at ease with himself. His voice, his tone. So you hear him. We know his money, so I'm going to listen, right? And he's been interviewed, and he's almost like he's laying back and answering the question. That man is comfortable being himself. His success with Berkshire Hathaway and all of his investment things hasn't made him pompous. So when he's talking to the reporter, I never saw him take a reporter down. He feeds in the reporters the information they want. And that man has money, but his money has not made him look unapproachable. Maybe you have to fight through hoops and you have to be CNN, MSNBC, this one, that one, for you to talk to him. But if you ever see him in an interview, go towards that. Listen. It's almost while he's talking, he is laughing. He's enjoying the conversation. And we know he's very talented. You cannot, the ordinary John Blow cannot afford to buy a stock of, his company. But he looks casual. And it's not his clothes, it's his mannerisms, his face. And there are others like that. So when you see this man, his money didn't make him comfortable in his skin. He is comfortable in his skin. And that is what really, truly matters in people like that. So I observe that, and I'm drawn to that energy. I want more from you. I want to learn more from you. So I remember at the bank, we had huge companies with a lot of money, and you have their family coming in and out. You would always know old money and new money. It's amazing how people with old money seems to just, they're so different. The money doesn't make them have to be something they're not. And then you meet those that have the nouveau riche. They just got new money, or they just got rich. And man, their attitude wants you to run for the hills, to the point there was a particular woman that used to come. And her husband had a restaurant somewhere in the Eaton Center. And she would want to take a check written to the restaurant and come to cash it. And when the tellers would say to her, we cannot cash that check, it has to go into the company account. Don't you know who I am? I am Mrs. Gringens. And and the teller looks at her, and she said, well, you should cash the check. No, it's illegal. I cannot do that. Well, I will just have your job. She said, I remember Rosemary. Anytime they will give me a pension so you can have the job. And it was fabulous to watch that in action. So yes, there is something about old money and new money. And there's something about those that are comfortable in their skin because they have had the money for a long time. That man, Warren Buffett, money, when he talks, he doesn't tell you, I am Warren Buffett. Or do you know who I am? Those people who say that to you, they just got the money like yesterday. Nouveau riche. Another person that has money, was born into money, and they're so normal in the skin is Anderson Cooper on CNN. When that man laughs, he doesn't care. And he doesn't have to show up. And I am a Vanderbilt. My mother was a Vanderbilt. There's a statue of my grandfather. He doesn't do that because it's normal. And he's joyful with it. And that man, Warren Buffett, is calm with it. And then let us look at another one. I'm giving you all the good ones at the top. Is Bill Gates. He looks like he doesn't give a shit. He looks like he doesn't care. He doesn't give a shit about money. His attitude just gives you, okay, I'm going to give it away. He doesn't give a damn about it. And then you look at the others. Oh my. Their faces, they look. And they must have somebody whose breast is touching her chin on their arm. The implant has to be up there so they can't even breathe. And the woman is showing you everything beautiful about her. And then you look at the man's face. He looks like he's made out of a piece of plaster. Alabaster, not even ivory. Plaster, that if you wet it, it will melt. You know that type of plaster? What they make molds from? They make rubber molds, I think, from those. And they're standing there. They have money now. They cannot smile. They have money now. They have to be on attention. That's what I see when I look at Jeff Bezos, when I look at the guy from Facebook, when I look at there's another one, I don't know. And that one, Elon Musk, look like he's mental. Like he's looking for something. He looks like the parrot in the Australian commercial. Yes, you can see the energy. And those kinds of people have that energy. And you will see it in everyday look too. You'll see it in normal people at your level, that they have a little bit of money and the attitude and they want to hold it, and they mean they don't have like those guys, but they maybe have a few 100,000, and they come to the bank and they wear dirty clothes, not dirty on the outside, but smelling dirty people. Clean looking, their hair is combed, have their briefcase, but when they come to front of you, you want to duck because you can smell rancid clothes. But they are dedicated to 25 cents. They are so dedicated to getting that quarter from the bank. So this month is okay. Last month, though, they would be there on April 1st because there were 31 days in March. And you guys owe me 25 cents on my 200,000 term deposit GIC. And they have taken all night long. They have a sheet of paper, 8.5 by 11, with all the maths from March 1st to show you need to give them 25 cents for the 31st. Because the GIC, the term deposit, is for 30 days, and you had it for 31 days. And it got to the point where it was so bad. Hi, Donzi. What I would do is get my staff to just get $20 in quarters and leave it at the reception desk as they come in. Here, Mr. Smith. Here, Mr. This. Here, Mr. That. And they would be happy with that. So yes, the people that were born into money are very comfortable with their money. Unless they have somebody at the back that is constantly screwing them to be mean and to have more and to get more. And they do get more. Both of them, those like that, like Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, and the other one, Steve Jobs, Anderson Cooper, they came with money into the world. Or those guys made their money. Anderson Cooper came with his. And those other guys, they made it, but they didn't let it keep them back from having a different kind of laissez-faire attitude. Like, it's okay, I can make more. I can give it away, Bill Gates, because I can get more. I can create more. There's more coming. They have no doubt about it. Anderson Cooper did not go to what do you call it, reporter school. He had the kind of money that he could take his camera and go to Africa and start filming. And he was so damn good at it. That's why he's doing all of that. So he used it to give him this position. And when he laughs, he laughs. But some of them that has the money, their faces look like something has happened to them. They started at the bottom and they got to the top. And yes, we know it was consistency, perseverance, difficult challenges, crawling, sleeping in the car, working from the car, whatever they did. When they were in the car, they were praying to God, the car got to the next stop. I get this. But why it is, once they have received the money, they become something else. Why do they do that to themselves? What it is that makes a human being let something that can disappear in dust, in seconds, affect them? And like she said, the action, I go, yes, they don't care. They never smile. You have to see, when did you see Jeff Bezos smile? When did you see what is Elon Musk smile? When did you see the Facebook guy smile? When you see these people smile, there's no smile. They're looking for more opportunities. They marry several different ladies in their lifetime, looking for the perfection they do not even have in them. But the woman is on the arm. I keep looking at it. Do you know you're just there for a time, right? No, they're not. The breast augmentation is closer to their chin than to their arms. And they're standing and they will have a big wedding. They'll have everything. And at the end of the day, something is missing in the relationship. Some of you are too young to know what is Paul Newman and his wife, Joanne Woodward. And he said, why would I go looking for hamburger when I have steak at home? These people are constantly looking out there for steak and getting hamburgers. And they polish it, they put more things on it, and then they get tired of it and they drop it and on to the next. Yes, you can read people's energy by how they behave, how they behave with others. It's up to you. And I'm talking about the rich and the famous because this is the question she asked. But I spoke a little bit this morning. The man shoveling my snow, his energy, and it's not that I was like in the house and he was outside and I was observing him. And it scared me. His energy was so angry. I have to do this job in this winter weather. Rah, 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 rah. And you can tell by where the shovels were going into the snow. And then I sat there and I thought, what we have in our life is what we created in our life. Nothing different. And when you have work to do that is of a particular nature and maybe you do not like or enjoy doing it, remember this job you have now is the result of some consequential actions you took earlier in your life. And you cannot change it now. You have the regret and it's etched on your brow and you're unable to change it now. Nothing will happen that will make it different. So we make choices in high school that affects how we live the rest of our life. Some of us have something else besides the high school choices, and we realize where we are. And it's horrible and it's not nice. And we climb and we stay persistent and consistent and we push through to get to the level of success we couldn't do when we were 12, when we were in high school, 13, 14. But we did it now. And that means you will get both sides of that quality of nature in people who have done it too. The one that slept in his car and pushed his way and is successful now and sold books from his car, there's no smile. There is never a smile. Get me a picture of these people smiling and I'll pay you for it. Even when they're smiling, it's like, don't catch me smiling. You might take my money if I'm smiling too hard. And then you get those who went through a similar journey and they're willing to enjoy being human. That doesn't mean you have to give the money you work for to everybody that asks you for it, though. But you shouldn't let the wealth that you have accumulated by your sweat of your brow and all what you did stop you from looking human. Stop you from enjoying. Money does not give you joy. Money is a tool to be used to purchase experiences you wouldn't normally be able to purchase if you didn't have the money. That's all it does. So that's why a lot of people that are wealthy, that started from the bottom, in some cases, they get angry or they become mean. I will find my. I'm not you. Oh no, you want that? You have to work like me. I'm not helping you. I'm not turning back to push you up. I want more. And everybody is looking up to them. I want to be rich. Like, no, you don't. It comes with a price. People look at people that are rich women like Oprah. They want to be Oprah. And I always say, you want to pay her price? And they said, and some of them don't even know. They don't realize she had a past. And she had not, and she'll tell you that her childhood wasn't great. But what you want is not Oprah's wealth. You have to take the whole shabam. You have to have traveled through that journey. So yes, those energies do come through in people's faces. My favorite three people that I enjoy looking at that made their money or have money, got money, the two is Warren Buffett and Bill Gates. I love the attitude. They seem to have a laissez-faire attitude. I don't give a shit. You interview Warren Buffett and he kind of, yeah, man, and he's talking and he's so cool. And the others are running for the woods. They see you coming, they think you're going to take the dollar they have in their wallet. And they're running from you like wild dogs are after them. You never see them smiling, or they get crazy like this new one that's in America, jumping up and down like a frog, taking, and that's money. Because I have money, I can go do this and do that. No. So learn to observe that, because these people are in your everyday life, not at that level, but they're still like the people that came to the bank to collect 25 cents every month. There were 31 days in the month, only to see that something happens in their life and somebody abuses and the money is gone forever. Or the people that did accumulate wealth by working at home, in a job, in a factory, and saving and have a retirement plan and 401k, you go to their home and it's 60 degrees in the middle of winter because they do not want to spend money on heat. But they have all that money. And that is why there is this joke that this woman's husband died and said, I will give me all my money, take it, put it in my coffin with me. And she wrote him a check. And her brother said, what is that envelope on between his hands? She said, oh, his money. He told me when he dies to give him, to make sure he goes with all his money. So I wrote him a check. He can cash it when he gets wherever he's going. Smart woman, eh? So think about that. And who has a good relationship with money? Those who, when they have money, they're sad and look angry. Do they know? Is the energy, it's not only being sad and angry, it's the energy. Emotionally, they're not matured yet. We know that. So energy is powerful. If you're afraid of losing every penny you work for, you'll want to keep it. So that energy on your face is going to be tight. And you're looking to see who is coming to grab your money, or who is coming to take from you and prevent you from getting more. And then you have those, as I said, that do not care, like Bill Gates and Warren Buffett and those kind of people. Anderson Cooper and Steve Jobs is okay. And then you have the others, which we know. So yes, when you meet somebody, learn to observe their energy. Yeah, low key, high, low key, how are you? Make sure You learn to to observe and enjoy the energy of people, even when you cannot touch them or you're not close to them. When these people are shoveling my snow, I want to duck and I'm in the house. They're angry because that's the job they have, but they cannot change the decision they made in grade 11 and 12 that didn't enable them to go to further education or to do something else. And they're mad. So do you want that energy? I decided, no, not for next winter shoveling snow. No, I need different energy. I do not like it. So learn to read the energy of the people you interact with and make a decision whether you want to keep yourself in that energy. Because you might say, you know what, to survive being with them, I have to be like them. You have to make a choice. And they do not have to be rich and famous like this young lady asked me. They have to be a normal Joe Blow that is suddenly a manager of a department store. And oh, you better believe I'm the manager. Everything in the body is shaking when they say that to you. And that means I'm pretty close to God. And I can get rid of you just like that. So they come in all shapes and sizes, young lady. They do not have to be rich and famous. But you asked about rich and famous. I brought a few that I recognize, I look at, and when they're speaking, I get involved with listening to them. Right? Because you also meet them when they are really, really rich and they made the money themselves and they are afraid of losing 25 cents. And they come to the bank every 31st of a month to get that 25 cents. And it's okay, it's their money. They have a right to it. But does that make them complete? They draw up to your desk and you want to draw back. Not because of perspiration, but because of lack of water, either on their clothes, not washing it, wearing the same thing over and over, because they're saving money. Their wife is freezing because the heat is low. She's suffocating because no air conditioner coming on. Not now. And the point is, they have to turn away and leave that money behind. Who would you rather be? I'd rather be Warren Buffett, man. Not his money, his attitude, the energy he gives me. When he's being interviewed by anybody, he sits like that. He's not in a tight thing. Anderson Cooper, he's laughing for 2 weeks. And then Steve Jobs just coming all in black and he go, yep. And he knew how to do that. And he had that in him. Bill Gates barely opens his mouth to speak. Took all his money and he gave it. I don't know what he's doing with it, but it doesn't seem to bother him. So when you're looking at those that are rich and famous, and they believe because they have this money that they are amazing, beautiful, and spectacular, and they rule the world, hey, that is just one pillar of the 5 pillars of prosperity they have working for them. Just one. Just one. Most often, emotional, spiritual pillar, and they're dead. Emotional prosperity is dead because they have financial prosperity. And that's why sometimes some of them, unfortunately, can make us laugh and their voices like hummingbirds and they die. Emotionally, they're not ready. We all have to die, but what the journey they go through, the things they do, yet the money didn't bring that for them. They sang like hummingbirds. And they had all these beautiful things in their life, but hey, there was more. The pillar of emotional prosperity was down. Yet they had great financial wealth, great financial prosperity. So yes, sometimes the rich and the famous' face is horrible because they do not have an emotional prosperity that is balanced. And sometimes there are others in our lives, people we know, our neighbor. I had a neighbor when I was very, very young. His name was Bruno. And Bruno worked and he kept always saying to me, my house will be paid off in August and in July. And that is as if that was all Bruno came from Germany to do in Canada. And the moment the house was paid off, the next month he died. He just died. He lived just for that. Because he always said what he would do when he was done. So the pillar of prosperity, the 5 pillars of prosperity, sometimes financial prosperity is high, is great, successful, but emotionally it's not balanced. The emotional prosperity is gone. And that affects them. So you need to observe and to learn people's energy when they're speaking. Look at them. When you are watching a lecture or somebody's talking on TV and you're watching the interview, it's not the interviewer you have to study, it's the person being interviewed. As I said, when I watched this woman not too long ago interview Warren Buffett about this crisis of tariff, just the way the man was sitting in the chair and answering this question. And Hathaway, you cannot afford these stocks, but you would never know that. And then you see those that stand up and they look like they're frightened. Their eyes are popping out of their head and there is no emotions on their faces. But they have this beautiful breast encrusted woman on their arm. And as soon as something is wrong, off she goes, off with her head. Next! They you know they emotionally wreck, right? They cannot do without a woman. They need one right away. And next one, and the next one, and the next one. So what is wrong with their emotional prosperity? They have put so much work in accumulating wealth, but yet they cannot pay the price to get the right woman in their life or the right man. And that's what you have to learn to observe and listen when people speak by feeling their energy. Listen to their words, watch their body language. I wrote it down. Watch their actions, how they move their hands, their body language, watch their faces, and see their eye. Look at their eye. Are they always drawing back the questions to themselves? I am the best. And they cannot prove that. So this is what this lady, I'm young lady, Rosie, not the one we know. I am so happy you asked me to do this today. I'm grateful for it. I am just saying I gave it my best based on the question you asked, which is, you talk about money and energy, what it is you see when you look at the face of the rich and the famous. In the action, the body language, their faces, what and who has a good relationship with money. And those who, when they have money, they look sad and they look angry. And they look for younger men or women over and over again. Yeah, they do exist. So guys, thank you so much for your visit with me today. Stacy and Dawn and Yuko. And I don't know who else is there. Your names are not showing, but Stacy, you came. So, oh, Loki was there. And Stacy, so you guys came early. Dawn is there. I can't see the asset. So thank you for coming. Thank you for dropping by. See you next Thursday on the Love Channel. We talked about love in a different way today. Talking about love of money, but normally we talk about love of self. So take care, and I'll see you next Thursday and tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. and Saturday afternoon at 1 p.m. The financial show. Join me. We're going to have lots of fun. Thank you for coming, everybody. Arigato. Love you. Have a great Thursday. Oh, have a great weekend, just in case you only come to this. So talk to you later. Bye-bye, everybody. I want to make sure I said goodbye to everybody. Stacy, Dawn, Yuko, Luki, and anybody else that joined us today. Have a great life. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.